Howdy crew, got another unboxing for today. Let's get to it. First, right before the unboxing, I do want to mention, yes, I do know how bad the fabrication table looks. This is from the surplus USMC Woodland Marpet shelter. It just was disintegrating on the inside, as y'all can see, and with the rain that had last night came out today, and this is what it looks like. So I found it like this afternoon. Obviously it looks pretty gnarly. I'll take some Scotch-Brite, some dish soap, and clean it up. So we'll see how that works, but that is a major disappointment, and it just looks disgusting. So that is what happened to the fabrication table in a very short amount of time. So let's get to the package, open it on up so y'all can see what we got today. There. All right, let's see here. All right, just as y'all saw in the unpackaging of the lights, more packaging. That's perfectly fine. I'd rather have more packaging than not enough. So y'all may be wondering, what is all this stuff? This is all stuff that is needed for the welding rig, and it is OSHA compliant. So you may be wondering why are rolls of gauze needed. It is, according to OSHA, the stuff that is needed for first aid kits whenever you're on a job site. So if you have a company and you have a truck, a site, what have you, the bare minimum is listed on OSHA on what is needed. So this is most of the bare minimum. There's still a few other things I have to go get outside of this, and there's some things I already have are in this. But yeah, rolled gauze, one of the mandatory things on the list. I will show a list sometime down the line once everything's put together, so y'all can see what is on the list that is in the first aid kit, but then also what I have to add in addition to that for safety concerns dealing with the welding field. So CPR pocket mask, this is required, either a facial or pocket mask. So I decided to go with this. And first of all, I do want to mention, if you are going to be using this, please have first aid and CPR training. I do have CPR training through the Red Cross, so I do want to mention that. And yeah, so any of this stuff, if you don't know how to use it, don't buy it. Or if you're going to buy it, don't use it until you know how to use it properly. So I'm going to go through this. This is a SAM splint, and splints are required, at least one splint. It doesn't really specify the size on how big it can be, but they do have a minimum requirement as far as I can recall. So SAM splint, again, make sure you have training in all this stuff. Don't just buy this and then just have it for some emergency you don't know how to use it. That wouldn't work very well. And we'll go with the big box here. Antiseptic wipes, it's required. Also, it's good to just have on hand anyways. Most of the stuff you should have on hand anyways. I always had first aid kits with me, but I wanted all pretty much new stuff to go in the welding rig, just so that if OSHA were to come out and they want to look at it, they can see that it's new stuff. It's not stuff I've had for years on hand. So 4" by 4" gauze pads. It is minimum 4" by 4". That is required by OSHA. So if you have a 3x4, because they do have 3x4s, you are not compliant. So I do want to mention that. More rolled gauze. And you've got to have the flex wraps. It's also a requirement. And I believe you're required to have at least 2. That's why I bought 2. But also there's some things are doubles, because there's going to be 2 first aid kits in the welding rig, as you all have already seen from prior videos. If you don't know why, go ahead and check out some of the prior unboxings of the Molly panel and the assembly of it. It'll explain why there are multiple IFAKs, or if you want to call them first aid kits, in the welding rig. The little metal, if you want to call it metal, for some people say it's like a mylar. No, not mylar. What is it? Aluminized rescue blanket. For some reason, I've heard some people call it mylar, which it don't sound right because that sounds like plastic. But they might have plastic versions of these, but it is supposed to be a blanket of some sort that is the metal, kind of like an aluminum flexible blanket. So if there's an emergency, and someone's going to shock, you cover them up with this, all that good stuff. It radiates about 90%, 90-something% of body heat back onto the individual using this. So again, a requirement. Ibuprofen, 20 tablets. I do want to mention, just as the website, I use First Med Mart, First Aid Mart. I forgot which site I used. I'll have to keep you all posted on that because I'll be buying from them again. But they made mention of this so that all the buyers are aware, in good print, not just in some small little print at the bottom. It was actually in good size print, that the tablets come to a little package. And so there are 20 tablets, but there are 10 packages. So there's 2 tablets in each package. So just to be aware, there's ibuprofen and extra strength non-aspirin tablets. So again, both required by OSHA. And I think one was, and I got the other one just to be on the safe side. I forgot which one was which, but I'll keep you all updated on that as I'm loading up the IFAKs at a later time. And yes, the triangular bandages, 2 of these were required, which was interesting. I wouldn't expect 2 triangle bandages, probably just 1, but I'm used to using a lot of the first aid kits from the 90s going to early 2000s. Sometimes they don't get updated for years. So if y'all have these at work, make sure they're updated. If they're not, say something to a manager. I've been on job sites where you open up the first aid kit and there's goo pouring out and it's brown, it's moldy, and you don't want to use stuff. If something's seriously wrong, I don't mean for a band-aid, but if something's seriously wrong, you want to be able to get in there and have good stuff there, not to where it's all disintegrating. All right, fabric bandages, another requirement. Let's see here. The 1/2 inch by 10 yard first aid tape. There should be 2 rolls in here. Yes, 2 rolls. And again, a requirement, 2 rolls by OSHA. And I will show y'all the list either on this vlog or a following vlog about that. Nitrite 4 gloves, large. So nitrile gloves, whatever. Oh, here it is. First aid only. I think that's the name of the site. I think. Anyways, the gloves, also you don't want to be catching something. Who knows what other guys on the job sites do in their off time, and you don't want to catch none of that yucky stuff. So anywho's, make sure you have gloves. I will be getting more, but it was lower shipping the more you got, so I'm going to be getting the second box eventually, not immediately, but 4 gloves will suffice for the immediate future. First aid burn cream. We're welders, we need burn cream, and I don't mean for just a little spark hitting you or anything like that. If it's just little sparks and it hits you, you don't need first aid burn cream. But these are little packets, and if you have some bad burns, you're going to be using a lot of these packets, which is why instead of using a lot of these, and these are good for small ones, if you have a lot of them, let me move on to the next part here. Sterile hydrogel burn dressings, and I bought 6 of them. Sorry, it's been a while since I ordered it, so I finally got here, ordered 6 of these. So there's going to be some in different IFAKs, and we're welders, we need burn dressings. Make sure they're sterile burn dressings. I've seen some and they're not sterile. I wouldn't trust that. So 6 of these hydrogel burn dressings, they are sterile. And then last but not least, a water gel, huge one, sterile gel soaked burn dressing, emergency first aid for burns. So stops burning process, cools the burn, helps prevent contamination, reduces wound adhesion. So it is 8-inch by 18-inch dressing. So I found this to be an absolute necessity. I will be buying more of these because I don't think it's enough to just have one on hand. But I'm not expecting big burns, so I'll have one of these in each IFAK. I bought one to start off with, and then a bunch of these. So if there's a decent sized burn, you put one of these on. If there's something major, you just go straight to this. Don't worry about these little things, and you certainly do not even just worry about these. These are for actual burns. You touch some of the metal and it's blistering up and it's burning quite a bit. You go to that. And no, I don't want to be hurting all day from that. If it's small little burns, we're welders, we're used to it. But if you get some nasty little ones, these are perfect for it. You get some medium sized ones, these are great. You get something huge, you start going straight to this. So that is what was bought for the IFAKs today. If you all want to call them first aid kits, whatever you all want to call them. And yeah, there'll be more like this coming up soon, and then also there'll be more going into the IFAKs and how they're laid out, all that good stuff in the near future. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.